What's going on, YouTube, fam? It's your boy Tony 2 times, and we back with another episode of Hood Tales, man. Before I start, be sure to tap that like button. It's free. It helps get the video out there. Definitely watch this video to the end to hear the full story and all the details in the case. For my day one fam, y'all already know it's all love. Thanks for tuning back into another episode. If you're new to the channel and you feeling the content, feel free to subscribe. Definitely hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time we drop a new video. Oh yeah, feel free to share the channel with your peoples. Everybody is welcome. With that being said, let's get right into the story. For a lot of people, depending on how they were raised, they live by the saying, family over everything. If you come from a loving family who always looked out for each other, it's easy to feel like your blood will always have your back. But for others, they might not be fortunate enough to come from a strong family structure, whether foster care, a broken home, or just a family that has issues. So once they become grown, they realize, like, I'm all I got out here. But for the lucky ones who still have mom and dad and can call them for help, no matter the situation, that gotta be a great feeling. Besides, who will go to bat for you like a parent? When we are young and dealing with small problems like school, little teenage growing pains, our parents are usually the ones to help guide us through and make sure we have the tools to succeed in life. As we become older, it might be the same thing, but on a different level. As grown men and women, circumstances change from when you were a kid. Some even fall out with their parents because they feel like they are grown now, they don't need no advice, and they don't want no one trying to control their life. Of course, you would think the ones who brought you into this world only want to see you happy and to see you win. But sometimes too much interference from a parent can be frustrating. You feel like, I got this. I'm handling my business as a man or woman. That can cause conflict and even family feuds. And that old saying, some parents really live by, I brought you in this world and I will take you out. And on this episode of Hood Tales, we'll be taking it to Atlanta, Georgia, to discuss the recent case of a man whose girlfriend called his father for help, and his father ended up taking his life. Earlier this year, 32-year-old Durante Schofield was living a fulfilled life in the A. He had some trouble in his past, like a lot of us. He had a few run-ins with police, which landed the man with an F on his back, or being considered a convicted felon. But being resilient, Doronte didn't let that stop him. As he got older, he became a family man, a father of two, an entrepreneur, and an independent contractor in Metro Atlanta. He was in a serious and committed relationship with a young lady who we'll call Tiff for the sake of the story. She had a good job as well as law enforcement, being a Fulton County marshal. The couple lived in a nice part of the city and had an apartment in the Buckhead area of Atlanta. It seemed like Doronte had shook all the way back and wasn't being defined by his past. He had made a great life for himself. He had a close relationship with family as well. His little sister, who he always talked to and kicked it with, and his father, who he received his name from, 54-year-old Durante Rowe-Tolliver. The two men were said to always look out for each other, and as Durante got older, him and his father's relationship turned more into a friendship and a brotherhood. He helped his son out a lot. The two went places together and often hung out. It seemed nothing could go wrong in a young man's life. But on the night of October 29th of this year, Doronte allegedly called his girlfriend Tiff and told her he had been in a car accident. Once he got home, somewhere in the mix, the couple got into a heated argument about the situation. Tiff wanted to calm Doronte down, so she called his father to come over and mediate the situation. Now the next morning, at the midnight on October 30th, once he arrived, it only made things worse though. The father and son started going back and forth. The argument led to them even throwing hands, fighting with each other. Tiff, not being able to control the situation, called Atlanta police. By the time they arrived to the apartment, the father and son had calmed down, and Tiff was talking to police. She explained her and Doronte got into an argument, but it was fine. While talking, Big Doronte told his son, "You should come with me and cool off." Police agreed. The two men walked to the car while police were still talking to Tiff. Minutes later, they heard over 12 shots go off, catching everybody off guard. Police ran to the parking lot to find young Doronte suffering from gunshot wounds and his father holding a gun. He claimed as they got in the car, his son slammed the car door. Saying that he was still upset, he told him, like, "Son, you gotta calm down." He said his son got out and started acting like he was reaching. He thought he had a gun, so he pulled out his gun and shot 12 times. Unfortunately, as police checked his son's vitals, they realized Doronte had passed away at the scene from his injuries. His father was taken into custody, charged with the murder of his own son. The situation shocked the whole community. One neighbor spoke out on how he saw police at the same apartment a few times in the past, but it was never nothing serious. He just thought it was a young couple that got into fights. But that night, he knew things had changed when he heard the shots. There was more questions than answers about the whole incident. Why did Tiff call his father in the first place? There was allegedly no reports that night of a car accident in the area. And why did Doronte shoot his own son, letting off only 12 shots, which police felt was intent to take his life? It was determined his son never had a gun on him. Tiff was put on leave from her job at the marshal's office, pending investigation of the situation, and Doronte is being held without bail. His daughter and young Doronte's sister spoke out about the situation. She stated she didn't want this one incident to define her brother's story in his life. She wanted everyone to know who he was, and he was a loving person, family man who worked hard to overcome his circumstances. She stated she doesn't know what happened between her brother and father that night, but it doesn't seem real. But as of now, their father is being held pending trial. Rest in peace to Doronte. I send my prayers and condolences to his family. This is a crazy situation, and it's definitely a lot of questions. Like the car accident, why did his girl call his father out of everybody, not even the police first? Why did the father and son come to blows, and why shoot at your son 12 times? It just all seems a little weird, but I won't speculate. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this situation. Leave it in the comments. And remember, we gotta succeed, not to fail, so we won't be just another hood tale. Yeah, man, super crazy story. Rest in peace, that young man. But I ain't gonna talk too much more about this one. I appreciate you if you made it to the end. Definitely tap that like button if you're feeling the content. This is another episode of Hood Tales. Y'all already know it's all love, fam. It's your boy Tony 2 times. I'm out.